Okay, so I hope you can hear me, and we will start. Thank you very much to be with us. What we'd like to do today is to give you some reminder about VisiMix use, and starting the year in a series of webinars we will provide to you regarding different unit operations and how to manage the influence of the mixing in the process. In order to start in this group of unit operations, we like maybe at this first meeting to start with how you will be able to have a basic training automatic that we build in our website in all the unit operations that will be able to operate in a simple way. So this seminar is to remind you about VisiMix, to remind you why we need to use VisiMix and how you can train yourself in automatic way and to get the basic training ready to use the software. In this way, we hope when we will need you in our connections, when we will interact with you, all these starting point that is how to open the software, feed data, generate results, will be easier to you to generate the VisiMix file in order to directly, as possible, to come to speak more about our intention. That is, what are the mixing parameters that are important for your process and how this can be connected to your real life. That if I remind you, during the time that we were in contact, for people that know us, you know that the main intention of VisiMix is really to discuss about mixing parameters and how you can connect with your process. Any question you will have, please let's try to write in the chat, because we are many people here and it is not possible to answer any question. And I will try to answer you at the end of the presentation and the meeting today. So, VisiMix generate for you a VisiMix certificate. It was generated during the Corona. Who remember what was COVID-19? Okay, we really forgot what is. But we released this software during the Corona, and now, because we know that you are using more, we wanted to remind you that you can train yourself at any time by entering our application in the website, and this will be the final process. You will receive in your email a certificate of completion of the basic training signed by our CEO Mr. Gatamir. And here will be the date and it will be your name. There, the meaning of this, you pass all this certificate training that is including about 7 different unit operations, how to fit, which kind of result you will get. You will answer questions, and in this way you will generate confidence in yourself that you know how to operate and how to generate results. So this is the main intention. So let's start with remind you about what is VisiMix, what is good, what we need to do it, and what is required to this first step, that is very simple one, to cover and to feel confidence that at any time you will open the software in 5-10 minutes, you will be able to generate results based on the data you will feed and you collect. So VisiMix is a company located in Israel, in Jerusalem, that develops simulation for the mixing in the industry, and our intention is to provide to you in a very fast way the capability to understand the influence of the mixing in the process. Because, as you will see, it's simple to use, and when you will train yourself, you will see that in few minutes you will be able to generate very important results that normally you are looking for. Everyone can use the software. You can ask every people in your team, even if they are not qualified a high level of engineering, they will be able to feed data, generate results, and prepare all the data in order to have a team table discussion about the results and how to progress. The use of the software, once it's implemented in companies, is really giving you a capability to elaborate, think about the next step, scale up, the design, the transfer technology, because the main change we're doing when we're transferring our process to the next step, once you know your process, and once you did some work in the lab, in the older equipment, is to try that field to reproduce the results. And the main change is happening when we're changing this equipment, this geometry. Maybe we're generating some interaction between materials that will be different between different equipments, and this will be the reason that maybe this even light deviation can generate deviations in productivity, in operation, in quality, that can, of course, have a very difficult situation at this very specific step that should be fast, good, smooth, in order to come to the market in a good way. The technology was developed in Russia. The main scientific people coming from Leland Institute, Professor Leonid Draginsky, Dr. Kokotov and his team, and the main responsibility in Russia was to be sure that the process would run well. They will design equipment that will be good for all Russia. So they developed a model. When they came to Israel, it was transformed in software. And these are the models that we're providing to you from 1995 to now. Every 2 or 3 years, you will see news on mixing, news on VisiMix, and this will provide to you a complete idea about how to progress with your process. So VisiMix is based in physical models supported by empirical data. We solve the momentum balance to know the velocity of the flow, but in order to do it, we use common theories of flow, but we adapt this with empirical data that we collect in our laboratories in a very deep knowledge about what is the flow happening. We go deeply to the friction factors, we go deeply to the mixing Prandtl-Lev coefficients that will really generate the explanation of the flow in our tank and catching phenomena that happen in the stirred vessel. Because we characterize every momentum component, the momentum balance in the integral and differential equation, we will be able to provide to you in a fast way results that will be relevant and representative for your results. And of course, once we know the velocity, we'll be able to calculate any parameter: gas holdup, solid distribution, drop size, mass transfer coefficient, heat transfer coefficient, concentration of material in the tank, reaction behavior in real mixing behavior, and more. Companies working with us, we have many, but in these fields you can see from specialty chemistry, pharmaceutical, oil, in very wide range of fields where you have stirred vessels, you will be able to progress. Formulation, cosmetics, we don't have here, but we have companies in cosmetics and more. And once you're starting to work with the software, you can become to be a mixing expert. And the meaning of this is you will be able to grow into your organization, because you are providing really the answer of the main question that coming at this stage, that what will be what will happen with my process in the next step, because you know to connect between the physics of the process, your equipment, and your process start to this dialogue between the equipment and the process that you will be able to manage. You will have the capabilities to connect between all of these natural phenomena that happen in your process, that is compounding by biotechnology, chemistry, and more, and the physics you are the conditions you are providing to the process to generate the results you are looking for. We have many customers, and if you are new or you have no customer and you want to be in contact with us, please contact us. We will organize a tailor-made presentation for your organization based in the field that you are working and showing you some experience we have in your field. And if you want to share with us some data about your process, we will be able, of course, to provide the feasibility to show you that the software is able to solve some of your process, and of course help you in order to design a good way by combining between the equipment and the process. Now, what is the motivation of the use of the software? I can tell you that the main motivation is coming from this very simple and frequent situation that you are feeling. For some reason in the market or business point of view, your management, your company will ask you to transfer this process to the next step. It can be to design a new facility. It can be the most normal to go to scale up in an actual equipment that is available in the company. Or another more very common way, question will be, please transfer this process that you run in this country, to other facility. And this decision is normally a business decision. Nobody normally will not ask you, okay, let's study the process. At the end, you will know perfect all the scientific background and all the scientific reasons for every step, and only after that we will progress. This normally is not the situation in the industry. The situation in the industry is opposite. We need the material. We know what you did until that. It is enough for us because we need to progress with the business. Please provide me the quantity, provide me this process in other side, even if you don't know all. And the feeling that you have is that for the management it seems to be very simple, and for you it's a very big project, because you feel that you don't know the software at the well defined. Okay? And the reason is that the main deviation is coming from the equipment you are using, because the management is thinking about that the material is the same material, the process you are using is the same process, you succeeded or want to reproduce. So what will be different? And yes, all of this is true, but the environment will be different. And because this unit operation is not well known, or is not well determined, or is not well studied and learned in the university, and after that in the industry, it's difficult to catch sometimes that this small deviation on the interaction between the material that happen in the tank, this may be a little deviation, a light deviation will generate impurities that are not possible to clean, low productivity, flooding, plugging the water, operational problems. And here is the point. With the software, we'll be able to know what are the parameters that we use, how they will connect it to the process. If we know the background of the process, it should to be a deeper knowledge of the process, the background of the process, some hypotheses about the process, and we'll be able to implement there the environment that will generate to our equipment, to see how far we were from the place we run the process and we generate results, we succeeded. This is the main idea. So you will be able to work with small equipment, go to design, of course, help in the production and justify what you are doing. And in order to be clear, mixing in the industry is the capability to provide the conditions in the tank that will generate good results, good productivity, quality, and operation. Mixing in the industry is not the goal, it's only the the tool. We are using mixing in order to manufacture materials. This is our goal, the process, the operation, and the quality. The big news is that if we will be able to understand the mixing, we will be able to avoid normal problems that happen when we are transferring the process to the next step, because we are catching the main change in this stage and we're able to manage this stage in a good way. An example of it, company work in life science and they had some problems in one equipment that was breakdown. They replace this equipment with a new one by using a subcontractor, and this subcontractor generate the design, they buy the equipment, install the equipment, and operate. And once they start to operate, they had no good results. The process was a chemical reaction with porous beads. It's like a catalyst, a solid catalyst, and this product was produced in three different equipments. One of them was breakdown, and they installed an intermix impeller because they thought it will be better. Why? Their assumption was that if we're talking about solid bits, which should be very well distributed. But here was the problem. In the company were known that the oxygen hydrolysis can destroy the material that we have in the bits. The meaning of this is we have some contact with these solid bits in the heat space. With the oxygen, we generate some impurity that will be not possible to clean. It will be no good, destroy the material at all. And here is the point. They designed the equipment to generate good solid distribution. And they think, okay, we'll do trial and error and we'll finalize. They didn't catch why they have this no good solution. But when we start to analyze with the software and calculate what was the solid distribution in this equipment, we found surprise that in the older equipment, okay, they ran the process and generate good results, of course. They had moving all the solids, but the solids were only in the bottom of the tank, moving, but only in the bottom of the tank. In the new design, because they assume that the solid distribution should be good, they get a very good solid distribution. So they have many of the solids meeting the heat space of the tank, okay, the upper part of the liquid, and this contact with the oxygen generate this hydrolysis that was impossible to clean again, to clean after that. So now it is opposite our thinking, yes? Normally we think that mixing is homogeneity, but in this case, mixing is not a good homogeneity. Good homogeneity will be very bad for my process. So this is exactly the point. We need to disconnect between good mixing and good process. Good mixing is the capability we have to generate good results in the industry. If my process requires no good distribution of solids, this is what will be generated in order to succeed in my process. Of course, two lessons we learned with this study. The first, from the outcome of this case, we understood that the combination of the company knowledge of the process with VisiMix simulation is more than must in order to succeed to define new equipment and new process. And the second one, we can calculate what is the value of this knowledge, and normally at this stage is millions of dollars. And the reason is because we are growing, we are coming to the market, we need these quantities of material to be ready in the market, and once we are not doing the job this way, we are losing time and money for the company. So this is the main idea, and this is some motivation about why we need to do it, how to do it. I will show to you in this meeting how to generate these flow patterns, how to answer questions about mixing power, Reynolds number, circulation flow, mixing times, and more. And in this case, you can see this was the older equipment where the solids were moving mainly here in the bottom of the tank because it is an equipment that is mainly radial. This was the new design, and the new design was designing in the way that the solid will follow the flow pattern. So that well distribution of solids, but very bad for the process. So our proposed method that you know, I only want to remind you, and with this we finalize this part and start to show to you the certificate, how to operate, and we'll operate, show to you how to operate in our website. The methodology that we want to advise to use, I developed when I was pilot manager during many years. Marcy tried to explain what is my background, so maybe we'll send to you my background with the presentation after we finish. But I was pilot manager during many years in the pharmaceutical industry, in the chemical part, and we wanted to solve the main important problem we had at the beginning of the company is that when we transfer the process to production, taking long time to generate some validation of the process that we need to show to the FDA. And what we did is expressed in this very simple video. You can see here solids in the bottom, very big vortex. And let's say you did it in the lab. When and it was what you developed, and you are happy with the results, even the solids are in the bottom. And now I will be able to calculate other equipment in other place. In this case, it's like a fit some buffers. Okay? And you can see now how it's completely different the interaction between materials here. The solids are well distributed, the vortex disappear, and it can happen in every different equipment you will use in scale-up, in transfer technology, and even in some manufacturer of equipment we provide to you and offer an equipment that will design in order to solve your problem. But you need to control these results because what happened before that? We can lose time and money, time, of course, and we will not be able to provide. That is our job, our responsibility. So the best way to work is to know the process in the lab, to calculate with the software what will be the conditions we'll be able to provide in the production step or in the next step, to set up in some way the equipment we know we use according to the output parameters we will be able to provide, mixing parameters we'll be able to provide in the next step, and try to identify if this process will run well or not. If not, we have a capability to repeat again, to go to the lab, to understand more, to raise questions about it. And once we finish to do it, we'll be able to have a final design, buy a new equipment if it's required. But more important thing, we have a model that explains the connection between the physics and the process. Of course, you are the bridge. You are the expert of your process, but you will be able to have a supported data about your process and supported simulation about what is the flow happening inside, what is the mix and interaction between these materials. This methodology I use in a PhD in one field of the pharmaceutical industry, in the chemical pharmaceutical industry, and follow these steps that we can discuss in other meeting. Of course, we will do it. We were able to write patents and to really save time by reducing the order of magnitude of days to hour or minutes, because the definition about what is fast reaction, good distribution of solids, polymorph, it should be connected with the connections we provide in the time that we develop the software in order to be aware about what were the conditions, what will be the new conditions, and how we will be able to connect between them in order to avoid problems. Of course, this methodology we will explain more in further presentations we will provide to you. Okay, you can find this activity, this kind of modeling and operation of mixing and thinking about mixing in different papers we have in the web. If you write my name or the name of the inventors of this VisiMix model, you will be able to find a lot of papers, and you are invited to visit our website. There we have all. When I was pilot manager, we were able to reduce the quantity of spec material to below 5 from 100. It was at the beginning of the company. They had no pilot, of course, but when we identified what is the mission of the pilot, and we apply not only experiments in the chemical point of view, we apply experiments that are answering about the conditions we are providing to our process, we really start to reduce dramatically our problems in the company. Okay, so let's talk about the certificate. Now, when it's clear that our mission in the company is to provide answers, we need to know how to generate files, provide results, and we want that you will feel confidence, and you will see that really is simple. For this reason, we're able to provide this certificate in the web. Click there, register yourself, and start to work. It will not take you a long time. Of course, it is for people that have the software in their hands. People that they don't have the software, they can download the special version and operate the special version. It's exactly the same way that we are using the certificate, but for people that are not that they don't have the software, we reduce this special version only to 1-2 examples. Okay, so how is working? The VisiMix certificate is to train yourself in a simple way, generate confidence in all the unit operations that you can find in the turbulent version. And what you need to do is to come to the website training.visimix.com. There you will find, you need to register yourself. You will find 7 tests about hydrodynamics, reactions, solid liquid, liquid liquid, gas liquid, heat transfer, in main hydrodynamics, okay? And these 7 tests, you need to answer 4 questions based on the file that you will build according to the instructions you will get from the software. In order to have instruction in order to train yourself before you need to answer questions, we advise to use the SV example. If you click there, you will get PDF file, and you can train yourself how to feed that and generate results into the certificate. You will do exactly the same, but you will be more prepared for it. Okay. So come to the training. Try to download this SV. It's a recommendation to start to feel how you can use the software. And after that, once you enter inside, you will have here, you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 examples. Single phase mixing, batch reaction, liquid liquid, liquid solid, gas liquid, heat transfer in fixed temperature, and semi-batch. Every one of them, when you click there, you will get the instructions, what are the equipment you are working, and after that, answering questions and answers. The answer you will provide, the question we will give you, and if you answer well, you will progress to the next step. Once you finish all of them, you will get the certificate in your email. So you will need to go logging in. These are all the conditions for any question you have during your self-training. You can send email to Roberto Novoa, and he is receiving this question. If he is online, he will answer you immediately how to progress in order to solve your technical problems. Okay, so what I will do now, this is the first example. Okay, what I will do now, I will enter the software. I will show to you this example. I prepared it in the presentation to send to you that you have an idea what is the sequence. And once you finish the first question, you will get here, okay, you passed all because you answered all the questions, okay? And you will get the certificate. So for everyone. So let's go and doing it in the web. Okay, so this is the page you will get once you log in yourself and generate a password for yourself, okay? How to go to this page? If you click VisiMix website, you will find in the VisiMix website here VisiMix Certificate. And once you click there, the software will ask you, okay, login or register. Login if you have the password, or register for the first time. And when you click in the login or register, you will need to feed your email and your password that you use, or you need to register yourself. Okay. In my case, I am ready. I register myself. I click login, and what I will got, this is this page. In this page, what we have is the instructions that I mentioned you before that. What is the meaning? How many tests we have? Our recommendation if you are starting, and after that, the condition, the general instruction about how to do the job. Now, if you click start your test on the top or in the bottom is the same, the software will, okay, you see, here are all the tests. This is the definition of the test. You see, we are using here 2 state landing impeller. You will obtain some general data about your mixing equipment. You see the mixing equipment, okay? And once you feed this data in the software will ask you questions. So what we need to do is open the software and start to work. So let's do it. Let's go. I will open the software and start to work from the beginning, okay? Okay, let me. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so my software is VisiMix Turbulent. I opened, I need, you remember, project new, and give the name. I will give the name test 1. Test 1. Okay, so this will be the name of my project. So the first to do is to decide which kind of tank we have. According to our data, I have flat bottom. This is the data from the flat bottom. After that, the software will ask about buffers. And after that, the software will ask about the impeller and the physical properties of the neck. All of these you have there, so I will go through this question. So we have flat bottom. When you click flat bottom, you see any one we select, we need to confirm. So we use flat bottom, click OK. Now, the internal diameter, that is the main important parameter of the steerer vessel, is 3,000. The total volume is 35,000 liters. Take care about the units, it's very important, okay? And the volume that actually I'm using is 30,000 liters or 30 cubic meters. Now, we click there. The software asks me about the buffers. We have flat vessel attached to the tank wall. So these are like this. We have 4 like this. The width of this will be 300. The length of this will be 4,200. The distance from the bottom will be 0. And the angle between the baffle and the R-axis here will be 0. Now, the software asks me, okay, you have multi-stage, no single, multi-stage, and we have lighting multi-stage. This we selected, and we have multi-stage. When we click OK, now the software will ask me about the tile diameter, continue to be one of the main important parameters here. We have 2 stage, it can be 3, or different impellers. We have a software for different impellers and different dimensions in the impeller. The distance between the stages will be 2,000. The distance from the bottom will be 375. The RPM, according to the data we get, is 80 RPM. And the power of the die that is really not required to calculate nothing. It's only to protect your equipment. If the mixing power will be more than 70% of this motor power, we will pop up some notification about the capability of your drive to support this power. Okay, and once we click OK, is after we finish to feed the data of the equipment and operation, we need the process. The process is the density and the viscosity of the media, at least at the beginning. If we will do solid liquid, gas liquid, more, of course, we'll require more data. And for this, we will show to you it in the further webinars that will talk about fermentation, crystallization, reaction, heat transfer, safety. All of this is happening every 1-2 months. We're doing it, and I hope you will come. You're invited to be here, and we'll explain again and again the main concept, but we'll explain more about the specific unit operation. So in this case, the density is 1100. The density, the viscosity can be Newtonian or Norton media. We are talking in this case about Newtonian, simple one. And the dynamic viscosity is 4.5 centipoise. Once we click OK, this is the file ready to use. When you have this picture, the meaning of this, that you are able to start to calculate what you want. So let's come now to the training, to the registration, to the certificate. Now, when I click Start Your Test, after I feed my data, the software is asking me, please, what is the mixing power? Okay, so let's go to my file and answer about it. If we go to calculate hydrodynamics, we're looking for here, what is the mixing power? My mixing power is 5710. If I come to the software and click 5710 and click enter, because it's in green, the meaning of this, my answer is okay. Let's come to calculate circulation flow rate. Okay, let's come to the software and calculate circulation flow rate. You can use last menu because all of this hydrodynamic is the basic one, is the simple one. We can looking for the circulation flow rate here, or we can calculate the main characteristics. Here you will find circulation flow rate is 2.01. So I come to my file and click 2.01, and you see continue to be okay. Okay, take care about the units. Okay. After that, let's go to okay, let's go to energy of dissipation. Energy dissipation, remember, is not the hydrodynamics, it's more the turbulence, okay? How we dissipate our energy and how this will generate the size and interaction between fluid elements and more. So you can calculate here energy of dissipation total, and it will give you all. If the question was, what is the maximum energy of dissipation, we can click 77 and we'll see my answer, 77. And what is the shear rate near the impeller? Continue to be in the local mixing. So go to the last menu. I'm looking for shear rate. Shear rate near the impeller is 4360. Okay, so let's continue for 360. Macro mixing time is the, once we finalize the hydrodynamics and the local mixing, that it is the position, okay, we need to talk about the dynamics. And the dynamics asking me about the mixing time. So if you go to single phase mixing, you will find all the mixing time. The macro mixing time, main periods of circulation, and micro mixing time. The software asks me about the macro mixing time is 1 to 4. Okay, as you see, 1 to 4, it is the macro mixing time. And the last, another two, the main periods of circulation, it will be 8.32, and the macro mixing time will be 25.9. 25.9. Okay, now I can upload the file. Okay, let me save. Let me save the file that I generated. Okay, what it was test one. Okay, in the desktop, and the software, the certificate asked me, because if you have a question, it will be very important that we know what is the file you are using in order to guide you how to progress. So test one. Okay, and once I upload all, I can check my results. Okay, and it's evaluating. Oh, congratulations, I got 7. And we can start the next one. Anyway, we can start anyone whenever I want, okay? And you can see for every unit operation, we have the history, the important data, and after that, start your job will be 3, 4, 5, 7 questions that you need to answer. At the end of this procedure, you will get the certificate that I showed to you. Every step is the same. Feed the data, start your test. You need to answer some questions and upload the file. Once you upload the result, you will be able to check your results, okay, for every one of them. So you can see batch reactions, liquid, liquid, solid, liquid, gas, liquid, heat transfer in different modes. So this was the main intention of my presentation. If you want to stay here, I want only to remind you that once you finish to feed all of this, and you want, for instance, to evaluate what will be the solid distribution in this tank, the software will ask you more data. For instance, the density and the viscosity of the pure liquid, the concentration of the solid, the density of the solids, and the particle size, dB50 and dB95. Once you have all of them, you click OK. The software identifies that you fit a solid, and it's giving you what is the, for instance, the solid distribution. In this case, if you take a sample from the bottom of the tank, you see you have about 70% more material in the bottom of the tank than the average. So the solid distribution here is not so good, but take care that if you ask the complete or complete suspension, the suspension is complete. So this is a very typical case that I showed to you at the beginning, where the solids were moving in the bottom. And if it is good for you, it's okay. You don't need to feel that, okay, it's not good because the solid distribution is not good. No, maybe for your process, this will be good. Only to remind you that you can go scale up, scale down. For instance, you have 3,000 cubic meter, we can go scale down to 1,000 liter to evaluate my process by geometry similarities, providing me the order of magnitude of the diameter of the tank. And if I ask the software to provide me the same solid distribution, the software will give me what will be the velocity we need to apply in 1,000 liter to generate good results based on the main important mixing parameter that's controlling the process. And about strategies of scale up and scale down, I will spend my time in every one of the unit operations. So when we will release a webinar about fermentations, I will explain why in the fermentation, in the gas liquid system, the main important parameter will be, for instance, energy of dissipation. Why in the solid liquid distribution, the main important parameter is the impeller type velocity for the distribution, or the average of energy of dissipation for the minimum velocity to generate no solids in the bottom, or in the pot, or in the top, depending on the density of the particle. Okay. So, but once you are doing it, you get by geometry similarity the best prototype. And if you ask about the solid distribution, here will be exactly the same, but take care, you have real problem with the solid distribution, and you see it's very close, exactly the same. Now, in order to avoid the problem of solid distribution, in this case, we need to increase the RPM. I don't know why, let's say to 250, for instance. It was 226. And now you see that we have another notification, and we have about 70%. That this is the main, the point. Okay, okay, I know why I changed to the solids in the bottom. Okay, so you see this kind of operation is possible to do simple way. Don't be worried or worried about why I need to start to work. The meaning of this, losing time in order to feed data, the software will not work. No, this will work. It's simple to use. Start only to use. And if you have some trouble about how to use, you remember always we are here. The customer support is really sitting and waiting for your question in the computer. If I am online, believe me, the first that I'm doing is answer your question. Because once you ask questions, the meaning of this, you are very hurry. So I want to provide to you the best answer and the fastest possible. If I don't understand, I will contact you, or will send you an email that we need to meet in order that I will be able to understand better what is your answer, like me, Roberto, and other people in the customer support. We will not cover here the facilities about the report, how to compare data, process analysis. We have not enough time for it, but these are the wanted to show to you all of the results you have in front of you. You will pass your your certification, and you will be able to get some certification complete. And it is good for the FDA, for your personal record in the company that you were trained. And it is a one way. Other way, of course, is contact us and develop every process you are doing. But if you want to feel comfortable and generate the options and provide good answer for the company, let's start to feel comfortable inside the software and confidence that we know how to use. So in any time, 5 minutes, enter data and start to generate your unique and relevant results, because it is you and the company is waiting for you. Okay, so this I wanted to show to you to do today. Thank you very much. If you have any question, of course, feel free to ask, to write. We have here questions. Okay, mainly is that you can hear me. It's good. And apologize for the first 2-3 minutes, that some problems with the audio, but my audio was okay, so we generate all the data and the results. Okay, so thank you very much. We finalize according to the time. If you want more questions about it, please ask. We have prepared a series of webinars. The next one should be fermentations. After that, some reactions, crystallizations, and we are looking for people that, of course, users that had good results. We invite them to express and show in this forum what you did. It will be very important for your people and for the forum to understand that we are dealing in the same kind of the operations, and it is possible to solve. Of course, I know it, but if it's coming from your side, for users that are expert users in the software, of course, the audience will feel more, and we will generate a good forum and interaction between people. We have a question here from Jonathan Tan. Can we have download a demo-free trial version of the software? Yes, of course. If you come, let me show to you. 1 minute. If you come to the website, the VisiMix website, VisiMix website. Okay. Yes. Here you see free download. You can find the registration, and once you feed it, you will get a file that you can download, and a second file that is the instruction for the use of the software. It is simple to use. You can start. You want to know more about what is the meaning of the parameters and more, of course, contact us. If you are new, if you have a new company, we can have a starting introduction presentation to your company, and you have data. You can send us the data, and we'll show to you, based on your data, that it's possible to calculate and start to work. Is there a limit? Is there limit on how many times the user can try to answer? No, you can enter many times the answer. Our intention is that you will succeed. Of course, if you feel some problems, maybe you try 3-4 times and you think that it's all okay, contact Roberto, send the file that you generated, and he will answer you immediately what is the problem. We know the answers, of course, and we know what is the normal and typical problems. If you are in the academy, we have developed a book that have this kind of example in a book, hard copy or PDF file. And if you want to do it in the university, we have special package for the book and the license for the university, for the students, for a frame of time. But they will, if they will have the complete license, they will be able, of course, to do this complete training and feel that they really know in the practical way what they need to answer in the industry. Those VisiMix include, thank you, Cliff, thank you very much. Nice to hear you and to meet you here. Does VisiMix include any type of economic analysis or evaluation capability? No, it's not there. We had some starting project, but we stopped it because the technology of mixing required it from us develop more scientific result, and we didn't take care. We didn't think more after the first meetings about the economical results. We're very happy to hear if there are some starting point in some place. Maybe we will develop it together. Noted. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, everyone. We are now we finished the time. So thank you to be here. It's really a pleasure to meet you again after this travel of Corona times. We come back. We come to visit companies on site, and we come back to generate this kind of forum that will give you more knowledge about the mixing in the process and how to start to answer to generate relevant answers to your company in your position, and to start to feel and to see relevant in the company in the point of view, this unique point of view that is the influence of the mixing in the process. So thank you very much. Have a good time. Bye-bye.